has so much energy. He's one of the best speakers you'll ever see, so please give a big round of applause for Mr. Cliff Walker.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
We're getting towards the end of a busy start to this event, but we're going to share with you some information that hopefully is going to help you go and create some income from the Jeunesse Financial Rewards Plan. How many were in here to see Steve make the presentation on the Financial Rewards Plan? Okay, pretty much all of the room. Well, he did a great job. And he explained exactly how you can earn team commissions. He explained how you can earn those matching bonuses. What I'm going to do is give you a little bit more information about what you need to do in order to create those team commissions. So one thing is to understand how they're created. The other thing is to actually know what to do in the business and what to teach in the business to the people in your team to enable you to go out and start making those team commissions and those matching bonuses. The first thing I want to say, though, is that you need to recognize, we all need to recognize that this is our business, this is your business. So you are the person that's going to take responsibility for the success that you have in your Jeunesse business. And please recognize that this is, I like to look upon this as a 3 to 5 year project. This isn't 3 to 5 days, or 3 to 5 weeks, or 3 to 5 months. It's 3 to 5 years, but you're building a foundation that can create a completely different financial future for you if you invest the time and effort. So the other thing I want to stress is that the responsibility for success in this business lies with each and every one of us individually. So it's not the company's responsibility for you to be successful. It's not your sponsor's responsibility for you to be successful. It's not your upline support team's responsibility for you to be successful. It's not the people in your team that's responsible for your success. We're all individually responsible for our own success. So you have to embrace that when you leave this event this weekend. You want to be taking that away, the fact that this is your business and that you're responsible for creating whatever level of success you're looking for. So we're going to start looking at how we create income from the Financial Rewards Plan. But let's first of all talk about the 3 different types of income that are available to generate, and then we'll reflect on how we can earn them from the Jeunesse Financial Rewards Plan. The first type of income that's available is linear income. How many people here have a job or have had a job in the past? Okay, most of us. I worked corporately for many, many years, and when you have a job, you're earning linear income. And what that means is that you're responsible for generating the income. You have to turn up for work day after day after day, week after week after week, month after month after month, in order to get paid that income. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a job. It's just not the smartest type of income to generate, because you're the focal point of that income. If anything happens to you, if you can't work any longer, then that income stops. If you're in a car accident, or if you had an illness and you had to stop work, that income stops. Why? Because it's linear income. It's dependent upon you generating that income. Or the other alternative, of course, is that job might stop. People are being laid off and made redundant day after day all over the world, and if the job stops, the income stops. Linear income is one way that we can get paid in Jeunesse, but there's other more exciting ways we can get paid. The second type of income that can be generated is leveraged income. Leveraged income is a smarter way to generate income, because when you're generating leveraged income, you're no longer the focal point of income generation. So let me give you an example. You think of any of the successful companies around the world. I like to use McDonald's as an example, because we all know McDonald's. McDonald's don't make their money because they have one big McDonald's that we all drive to and eat at. They make their money because they've come up with a concept, or Ray Kroc came up with a concept, and he replicated that concept many thousands of times now around the world, and income is generated from all of those outlets around the world, and that's how McDonald's make money. That's the concept of leverage. If you look at big businesses, they all use the concept of leverage. We're in a Marriott hotel. How many hotels have Marriott got around the world? They've created and leveraged themselves using this particular concept. And the great power of this type of business with Jeunesse in network marketing is by building a team, you can create leverage. you can have leveraged income being generated from many different places around the world. And then the third type of income that's available to us with Jeunesse is residual income. And I like to refer to residual income as the lying on the beach money. You know, this is the money that's going to come in day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, long after the work has been done. It's like a royalty income. And usually to generate this type of income, you have to be extremely talented. You know, you have to be able to either write a song and record that song, or write a book and then sell that book. That creates royalty income. In fact, I think Elvis Presley's estate today makes more now he's dead than it did when he was alive. Why? Because of the royalty income that keeps coming every time one of his songs gets played, or every time one of his movies get played. Same with an author of a book. It gets sold over and over and over again, but it's only ever written once. So these are three different types of income that we have available to us, and they're all available with Jeunesse. So let's have a look at the compensation plan. I'm not going to go through the compensation plan. Steve Green did a great job of that. But what I would like to focus on is, for me, at the heart of our financial rewards plan is the team commissions. You know, the opportunity to create leveraged income by building a team of people around the world, or even in your own local town or your own community. And that's what Steve focused on. And the other income that's powerful is leadership matching bonuses. And again, if you were here in the last session, you'll have seen Steve Green talk about how those leadership matching bonuses are earned. So I'm not going to talk about that. What I'm going to focus on is, what do we need to do to create team commissions? Because if you can earn team commissions and then teach other people in your team to earn team commissions, that's where you start earning those powerful matching bonuses. So you want to learn how to create team commissions, teach other people in your team how to create team commissions, and then you're going to be able to generate those very powerful leadership matching bonuses. So let's just reflect on team commissions. I'm going to go through this very quickly because Steve already covered it. First of all, you come into the Jeunesse business. You first of all want to activate your position in the financial rewards plan. You do that with a minimum of 100 points. Of course, you can do it with more points if you want to, a bigger package if you'd like to, but 100 points activates your position in the financial reward plan. And then what you're looking to do is qualify your position so that you can start earning the team commissions. And to qualify, you introduce just two people, one into your left team, one into your right team. Once you've done that, you become an executive. Once you're an executive, you are qualified to start earning the team commissions. Very powerful. And of course, once that happens, your team can start to grow, not just through your efforts, but from the efforts of the people in your team as they start to duplicate what you're doing, as they start to build their teams and introduce people into their business. And that can grow. And as Steve said in his presentation, the computer system is simply looking for points in your two teams. 300 points in one team, 600 points in the other. That creates a team commission of $35. You have the potential, this isn't a guarantee, but you have the potential to earn up to 750 of those team commissions in any 1 week. That's the most powerful part of the Jeunesse Financial Rewards Plan. So you want to know or learn how to create those team commissions. So what you have to do, people talk about duplication in this business. You know, what do we need to duplicate? Well, really, there's only one thing that you need to become good at duplicating in your business in order to generate income, and that is volume. Volume creates points. Points create the team commissions. So what I'm going to be focusing on this afternoon for the next few minutes is not how the compensation plan works or what percentages we can earn from the compensation plan. We're going to focus on how do you create volume in a network marketing business, and how do you duplicate volume, and what happens to your check and your income potential if you are able to create and duplicate volume. So let's look, first of all, at the volumes that you can generate in a network marketing business. There's actually 3 different types of volume. And if you've got a pen and paper, I'd make a note of these 3 different types of volume. The first type of volume that you are looking to create in a network marketing business here with Jeunesse is retail volume. Retail volume comes from the acquisition of customers. You tell me any other business in the world that is in business without customers. There isn't one. Network marketing is no different. If you're going to build a successful long-term network marketing business, you want to have some customers, because that creates retail volume. Customers create retail volume, but you don't need hundreds of customers. I like to say in a lifetime, look to acquire 20 customers. And remember that number, because we're going to look at some information later that looks at the power of building a small customer base. But I like to teach people in my team that you're looking in a lifetime, not overnight, not in the first week, not in the first month, but in a lifetime to acquire 20 customers. Do you think in a lifetime there might be 20 people that might like our serum, or the Reserve product, or the Zen Body? Absolutely. So we want to create retail volume because we want to teach others in our team how to create retail volume. And I'll show you why that's important a little bit later. The second type of volume that you can create in a Jeunesse business or in a network marketing business is called introductory volume. An introductory volume is incredibly important, particularly when your business is first getting started. An introductory volume is created every time a new person joins your business. Whether you've introduced them or somebody in your team introduces them, doesn't matter whether they're in your left team or your right team, if they are introduced by someone in your business and they place an order to get their business started, they place a product order for one of our product packages, that creates introductory volume. Introductory volume is what also helps to create team commissions. So that's a very important type of volume. In fact, when you're first building your business, often it takes time for people to acquire their retail customer base because they're going to take a little bit of time to find customers over time. So introductory volume is important because as people are building their distribution network, that's the key. This is what we're doing in this business. We're building a distribution network. I like to use the analogy of the franchise business model. And when I talk to people, I ask them the question. I use McDonald's again as an example. And I say, who do you think makes the most money? The person who owns a McDonald's franchise or McDonald's the company? Who do you think makes most money? Well, of course, McDonald's makes more money than an individual franchisee because they get paid the royalty incomes from all the franchisees around the world. And so, yes, you can make money creating retail volume in a network marketing business, but you have the opportunity to create a distribution network. And then you have the opportunity to get paid on the volume that's created by the distribution network that you build. So it's important, if you want to earn the higher levels of income that's available, to start looking at how you create leverage. Does that make sense? How you start to build a team, and most importantly, how you create volume through the team that you build. Because I can tell you one thing, you could have a team of thousands of people, and if zero volume is going through the business, how much are you going to make? Zero. Because we get paid on the movement of product volume to the end consumer, the person that uses the product. The third type of volume that you can create in a network marketing business is personal consumption. Personal consumption comes from us becoming our own best customer. And I would encourage you to use as many of the Jeunesse products as you can in your family. This is about you and your family using the Jeunesse product. And if you can only get started with one or two products, that's great. But over time, you want to experience those products. And that will become important as I show you how you create these three different types of volume. So we've got retail volume, we've got introductory volume, and we've got personal consumption volume. Now we're going to look at the activities that create those volumes. So remember, the first volume was retail volume. How do we create retail volume? Well, we learn to promote the products. Promoting the products leads to the acquisition of customers. And let me tell you, there's a difference between promoting and selling. How many people here like being sold to? Not many of us. How many of us like to sell? Not many of us. Here's the thing. The end result between promoting and selling is the same thing. A sale is created, and that's what we want. We want to create a sale, but here's what happens when we try and sell. Think about when we go into the car showroom, or think about when we go into the furniture warehouse and the salesperson comes over, says, "Can I help you?" What's the first thing we say? No, I'm just looking. Because we don't want to be sold to. And what happens when you try and sell, particularly if you're a person who hasn't got a sales background, all of a sudden you become this person that's trying to sell things to people. Wherever you create selling creates a force. Wherever there's a force, there's resistance. What you don't want to create is you don't want to create resistance. You don't want people to cross the street when they see you because they think you're going to try and sell them something. But we need to create the sale. Promoting effectively creates the same end result, but we're not attached to the end result. You see, when we try and sell something as a salesperson, we're attached to the end result. We're all about getting the sale. That's what becomes important to us. You don't want to be attached to the end result in this type of business. So we want to learn to promote. And we promote naturally as human beings. We promote good hotels, we promote good restaurants, we promote good books, we promote good movies. I remember a story that I tell about a friend of mine. There was a movie a few years ago, you might remember it was called The Full Monty. It was about a group of English guys that lived in a city called Sheffield, and they became male strippers. And I remember going into a friend of mine's office in London when we worked corporately, and he said, "Cliff," he said, "I went to see this movie last night." He said, "It was so funny, it's the funniest thing I've ever seen." He said, "You know, if you want a good night out, go and watch that movie." Now, I went to watch the movie. Why? Because he promoted it. He didn't phone me up to check whether I went to see the movie. He didn't follow me up to see if I went to see the movie. But he spoke with such passion and such enthusiasm about the movie that he went to see that I felt compelled to go and see the movie. And that's how you promote in network marketing. You use the product, you get a result yourself, you become so compelled to share the story that you have from yourself or from some of the retail customers that you've gathered, that promoting becomes easy. Does that make sense? It's the same end result. From promoting, you gather retail customers. You become good at promoting. You promote, and you speak about the products on a regular basis. And you speak from a place of enthusiasm, you speak from a place of passion, you speak from a place of your experience. The second thing you want to do is we want to enroll people, because enrolling people into our business creates introductory volume. Enrolling people creates introductory volume. Now, you may hear people speak about recruiting in network marketing. Anybody heard the term recruiting? The goal is to recruit people. Well, I like to think there's a difference between recruiting and enrolling. And here's what I was taught a few years ago. The definition of recruiting is getting someone to do something that they don't want to do, but getting them to do it anyway. Getting someone to do something that they don't really want to do, but getting them to do it anyway. Has anybody ever sponsored anyone into their network marketing business, their Jeunesse business, who then went on to do nothing? Yes. I have. You know, we all have. Well, why does that happen? Well, maybe, just maybe, it's because we recruited them. Maybe, just maybe, we got them to do something that they didn't really want to do, but we got them to do it anyway. Maybe they were so fed up of us calling that they just wanted us off their back. And then we can never reach them on the phone again, can we? They never seem to be in. They're always out. Because we got them to do something that they didn't really want to do, but we got them to do it anyway. Enrolling is different. We enroll in things from a place of choice every day of our lives. We enroll in tennis clubs, in swimming clubs, in golf clubs, in health clubs, in gymnasiums, in fitness clubs. Why do we do that? Because we want to get some end result from what it is. Maybe we join a golf club because we want to make more friends. Maybe we join a health club because we want to look better or feel fitter. Maybe we do the same thing in a tennis club, but we do it from a place of choice. So what you want to do is learn how to enroll people so they're joining your business from a place of choice, as opposed to trying to recruit people, which is getting some people to do some things that they don't really want to do but do it anyway. Does that make sense? So how do we enroll people? Well, one of the things that's very powerful about Scott Lewis is when you hear him speak, and you'll hear him speak obviously tomorrow, is you'll hear him speak about the vision of what it is we're building here with Jeunesse. And that enrolls people. When people hear Scott speak about the vision of what we're building with Jeunesse, the fact we've got the potential to build a legacy company, then people feel that they want to be part of that. So what you want to do is you want to create your own personal vision. One of the things I'd recommend you to do, if you haven't already done it when you leave here this weekend, is go home and write your vision. What's your future going to look like in the next 3 to 5 years? And how's that going to impact other people that choose to join you in your team? Because if you then learn to speak that vision about what it is you're building, and you share that with people, guess what's going to happen? Some people are going to say, that sounds fantastic, how do I become part of that? And they're going to join your team from a place of choice, which is very different from feeling that they've been forced into doing something that they didn't want to do. Make sense? Yes. So you want to learn to enroll people and not recruit people. And when you hear people use the term recruitment, bear in mind that's just a term that they've probably been using for many years. So I'm not putting that down, the term that they use. I'm just trying to give you a differentiation between the concept of enrolling people and forcing people to do something. And then the third activity is you want to learn to consume. That's pretty easy, to consume the reserve product, the AM and PM, the Zen Body. And those are the three activities that you want to focus on every day. You want to be promoting, enrolling, consuming. So you're promoting, enrolling, consuming, and you teach the people in your team to do those three things. Promote, enroll, consume. Promoting creates what? Retail volume, acquisition of real customers. Enrolling people creates what? Introductory volume, people joining your business that place a product order to get started. And consuming the product, of course, creates personal consumption volume. Those are the three product volumes that we want to create and replicate and duplicate in our team, and then we do that through learning how to effectively promote, enroll, and consume. Okay, so your job is very simple. Your job really is to, first of all, engage in those three activities of promoting, enrolling, and consuming. Then, over time, to improve how good you are at promoting, enrolling, consuming. That will become natural over time as you get into the natural rhythm of how you promote, enroll, and consume. And then you want to teach other people in your team how to do the same thing, because if you teach them to promote, enroll, and consume, they will create retail volume, they will create introductory volume, and they will create personal consumption volume. Let me ask you a question. If you went out and gathered 20 customers, do you think you'd make a great deal of money from Jeunesse? Probably not. Probably not. But what if you had a team of 100 people with 20 customers? Now you have 2,000 customers that you're going to get paid on. And what, over time, you built that team into, say, 1,000 distributors. That's not going to happen overnight. But say it takes you 3 to 5 years to build a team of 1,000 distributors, and you've taught them properly how to promote so that they gather 20 customers over the time. How many people are you going to get paid on every month? 20,000 customers every month. That's the concept of creating leveraged income. You create a distribution network and you teach them how to create those three types of volume and how to promote, enroll, and consume so that they understand how to create those three types of volume. Let me give you an example. Let's say that you set a volume goal in your team, and your volume goal in this example is to create 1,000 points. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to go out and buy 1,000 points worth of product every month. I'm saying through creating retail volume, introductory volume, and personal consumption volume, it's not difficult for us to be responsible for 1,000 points. And if we become responsible for 1,000 points, we can teach other people in our team to do the same thing. That's what will create volume, and I'll give you an example of that. So how do we do that? Let's say over time, we can get just 10 customers. We talked about 20. And they're just ordering one product a month, one of our 60-point products. Is it possible to get 10 customers over time? Yes. Absolutely. You'd have 600 points that you are responsible for creating. You're not ordering those products for the customer. They may be a preferred customer. They may be a retail customer ordering from your site. They may even have joined the business simply to buy at wholesale price. And they're a wholesale customer. But if you've got 10 of them, you're creating 600 points. Let's say you just enroll one new person every month, and on average that person starts with our 300-point Supreme package. You've now created 300 more points. And let's say you just use a couple of products yourself. What have you done? You've now created 1,000 points. What happens in this business is most people gravitate to the minimum, and we'll talk about that. But can we see how we can create 1,000 points? Yes. Not overnight, but over time. And if you can become the role model of how to teach people to do the business, you will be more successful, and more importantly, they will be more successful. So let me give you an example here. We're going to look at an example using our financial rewards plan of building a team of 300 distributors. And in this example, we've got 100 distributors in one team, and we've got 200 in the other team, just for this example, okay? 300 distributors, and they're structured in that way. 100 in one team, 200 in the other. Here's what happens for most people. Most people teach people to do the minimum. The minimum in the Jeunesse Financial Rewards Plan is 60 points a month. How many people here have been told all you have to do is 60 points a month and find 2 people? You know, that's what people say. Why do we say that? Why do we say that? We say that because we think that's going to make it easier for the other person to make a decision to join us, because they don't have to do much. But what happens when you teach people to do 60 points a month, in our example, is they gravitate to the minimum. So you've got a very low productivity in your organization. You see, I think that's doing a disservice to people. I think we want to be showing people how to create a real business with real volume that's going to create real income. That makes sense? Instead of teaching people that this is easy and all you have to do is go out and do 60 points a month and find a couple of people. Because that becomes, you know, a real challenge for people, because nothing happens in their business. So let's teach people how to build a real business. Let me give you an example here. We've got 300 people in our team, and we're teaching them to do the minimum. We're teaching them to do just 60 points a month. Well, if you had 300 people doing 60 points a month, you'd have 18,000 points of volume in your business. If you had 18,000 points structured in the right teams, as we said, you'd have 100 in one team, 200 in the other, create 20 cycles. If you had 20 cycles, remember each cycle is $35, you'd be making $700 a month. Now, is that a nice little part-time income? Yeah. It's quite nice, isn't it? $700 a month, part-time income, is a nice little income. But I want to show you the difference between showing someone how to do the minimum and showing someone how to be productive in their business by 1,000 points. I'm using 1,000 points as an example. You could make it 500 points. You could make it 300 points. I think 1,000 points is possible by building a small customer base, having an activity of enrolling regularly and consuming the products. But here's the difference. If you had 300 people in your team doing 1,000 points per month, now you've got 300,000 points going through your business. 300,000 points a month going through your business is going to create 333 cycles. 333 cycles is going to create $11,655 per month in team commissions. It's nothing to do with the number of people, it's all to do with the volume that's created in the business that you're building. Does that make sense? You decide, what would you prefer to have? $700 a month or $11,655 a month in that example? This isn't a guarantee of income, it's just an example of by creating and duplicating volume, that's how we earn team commissions. Because it's volume that creates points, points create the cycles, cycles pay us $35, we can earn up to 750 of them in any one month. And by teaching people how to create team commissions and doing this and creating volume, you're going to earn matching bonuses. Imagine if everybody in your team is creating volume and earning decent team commissions. You're going to get a matching bonus up to 7 levels deep on those team commissions that you are teaching people to create. So in this example, that's a 6-figure income just with a small group of people. How do you create that? Well, you have to create duplicatable volume. You do it by creating a duplicatable effort. Let me explain what a duplicatable effort is. A duplicatable effort is something that everyone in your team sees themselves able to do and would see it being fun. That's a duplicatable effort. You see, what happens when people come in and say you have to gather this many customers in a month, most people say, I could never do that. You know, I can't do that. I haven't got the time to do that. I haven't got the skills to do that. Or people say, you know, you want to be sponsoring more people every month. Month after month, you need to sponsor more people. Most people turn around and say, I can't see myself doing that. So what you want to do is create a duplicatable effort that everybody sees themselves able to do. Let me ask you a couple of questions. If you were to leave this weekend and you make a decision that you're going to go out and build your Jeunesse business and you're going to start speaking to people about Jeunesse, how many people a day, realistically, given what's going on in your life, given the job that you may do or the business that you're building, how many people a day do you think it would be possible to speak to about Jeunesse or the products? Some ideas? 3? 5? 10? 3? 5? How about 1? How about 1? If you spoke to one person a day in a month, how many people in a month would you be speaking to? 30. So if you spoke to 30 people about your Jeunesse business and the products, how many people do you think, irrespective of how skillful you are, if you were just to share a little bit of information every day with one person a day, how many customers do you think might want to try your products out of 30? 3? 10? 5? How about 2? How about 2? How about we look to create a simple duplicatable effort by talking to just one person a day? Every person in our team could gather 2 new customers. You see, if you had 100 people in your team and they all gathered 2 new customers next month, how many new customers are in your group? 200. If you had 1,000 distributors in your team and they were all gathering just 2 customers next month, you've got 2,000 new customers. That creates retail volume, that creates residual income, that creates that leveraged income we spoke about. And if you were to speak to one person a day for 30 days about Jeunesse, how many people do you think might like the idea of making some extra money? 2? What about 1? What about if we just all got 1 every month? Would that make it different? You see, this is a duplicatable effort. You can create your own, but this is an example of a duplicatable effort. We're going to look for 2 new customers every month. Most of you have said you can do more. That's fine. But 2 new customers every month, 1 new distributor every month, and consume 100 points in product. That's a duplicatable effort that most people in your team could see themselves doing. If you were to go back and speak to the people in your team and just ask them the same questions I've asked you. You know, if you're going to go out and build your Jeunesse business, how many people do you think you would realistically be able to speak to about Jeunesse every day? And they're going to come up and they're probably going to say 2 or 3 or 5, like you guys said. How about 1? You know, that would be 30 people a month. Is it possible to get 2 new customers from 30 people a month, 1 new distributor? If you created that as a duplicatable effort in your team, you'd have far more, in my opinion, far more productivity in your team. Why? Because people can see themselves able to do that. Does that make sense? Yes. People can see themselves able to do that. So I hope that's been helpful to you. I wish you great success. I'm going to be around, you know, if anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to answer any of those questions. I'll do that on a one-to-one.